So he's probably going back telling everyone the funniest story of all time about that time that one girl's vibrator went off in her bag. Oh, yes, Rosie gets very embarrassed whenever the three of us go out together because Keelan and I just don't get embarrassed and we find it quite funny.
Well, you guys just have no shame.
Oh, okay. This is a good one.
Especially him. Keelan doesn't give a fuck. Like, someone could be like, I think you're the worst human alive, and Keelan will be like, and I'll accept your opinion and I'll raise that and just do something else insane.
This is a really good one where probably should have been incredibly embarrassing for everyone, but only was for Rosie. This is on the way here to this place. We get off the plane and then we jump in an Uber and then we're going, and it's like, 20 minutes maybe? And then about 5 minutes into the drive, I just hear this buzzing. I'm like, man, this guy's car is fucked. And just hear this consistent buzzing. And then he's got one of those cars that when you stop, the engine turns off.
Yep.
And so he stops at a red light, the engine turns off, and I still hear this buzzing. And I'm like, oh. And it's buzzing heaps. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I think it might be my sleep apnea thing. I have a thing that I wear to bed where if it detects that I'm on my back, it starts to vibrate. Yeah. And it goes, I'm like, oh, it must be that. Check my bag. It's off. And I'm like, And then it's still buzzing for 10 more minutes and then stop at another red light. The Uber driver is now looking at everyone and I'm like, has Rosie packed something? I'm thinking, what the fuck could that be? And then I clock Keelan who's laughing and I'm like, oh, it's not his. And it's just buzzing and buzzing. And then me and Keelan start laughing. And then the Uber driver starts laughing. He's gone, someone's left their vibrator on in the Uber. And then we get out. And as we're getting out, I just cop it. I go, oh, it must be my vibrator going off. And then the Uber driver's like, oh, yeah. And he's very surprised to find out that it's mine. But
hang on, so Rosie hasn't said anything the whole time.
She's been dead silent the whole time.
But so you guys are laughing.
Well, yeah, but that
is one of my favorite things about Rosie is she sometimes just will choose not to participate.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes me think, oh, it's definitely hers because she's not saying anything. She's so fucking embarrassed. We get out of the car. I again check to see if it's mine, and it's not my thing. And then I go to Rosie. I'm like, hey, do you want to turn it off? And she's like, what? And then Keelan goes, oh, it's my Manscaped razor. It was just going off buzzing, but the Uber driver's left at this point. So he has no idea. So he's probably going back telling everyone the funniest story of all time about that time that one girl's vibrator went off in her bag.
It's just actually one dude's vibrator.